Hey, what's up? Sean here. I have an amazing episode of Sensibly Cynical lined up. But before we start the podcast, I want to tell you about Don's Pet Cove. Based in Richmond, Virginia, Don's Pet Cove breeds and sells animals. Their mission is to find good homes and food for all types of creatures. You can check them out on Facebook and Instagram at Don's Pet Cove. DONSPETCOVE. So they do amazing work over there. And if you're in that area, even if you're in DC, you can go check them out. I will be talking with Amber. She helps out with Don's Pet Cove. And she's a really good friend of mine. And yeah, so I'm excited to talk to her about video games and stuff. So it should be a good one. Enjoy. Okay, everybody. I have a very, very special guest with me on the line. Amber. What's going on, Amber?
How's it going, Sean?
It's going good. It's going good. Nice, warm day here in the Panhandle, so...
We had a sunny day, but it was only in the low 50s, so...
Yeah, the local fire has dispersed, so I'm in the clear.
Well, that's good.
So, how's Virginia treating you?
Virginia's good. We're having flip-flop weather, as usual, this time of year. So, it's a little on the colder side this weekend, but it'll heat up again.
Well, you're in Richmond, right?
Yep.
So, when I was there, you actually had your own meetup group, right?
I did.
Do you still have that?
Not that particular one, but I still have a meetup group.
So explain Meetup for those that don't know on this podcast.
So Meetup is an app that has a ton of different types of groups, and they can be like a hiking group, a board gaming, people to go to the movies with, people to go have brunch with, single moms, traveling around the world, like just all kinds of groups you could get together and do events, and each group kind of has a niche. And I heard about it, I don't even remember how many years ago, and me and my friend John Diggs, and I went to a speed dating event in DC. So
right.
I live in Richmond. I'm 2 hours away from DC. So we went to speed dating in DC, and we heard about it online. But honestly, it was a meetup event that they had, I guess, made a bigger event, and it was on several websites. And so anyway, that's how we found out about it. But I heard about Meetup for the first time that night, and we had a blast. It was a lot of fun. It was like something that we never thought we would do. And I've never done it again, but it was a great experience, and we met some great people, male and female. Like, it was a group of people that were like, we just want to meet people, and even if it's like not just making friends, if not, getting a romantic, whatever.
Hey, wait, and then you met me.
Yeah, and then so we came home, and we're like, Richmond doesn't have this. This is a problem. Because we want to meet people beyond just work. We both worked at a hospital. And we were like, we don't want to, if you don't want to date doctors and other nurses, then
no doubt.
You got to meet people elsewhere. So we decided to start our own meetup group and host events. And at first, we were like, we don't know if anyone's going to actually come.
Right.
So we just planned things that the two of us would like to do. Like, one of the breweries here is Isley Brewery, and we would just go, the two of us go sit at the bar and have a few, and if anyone wanted to come, they would come, and we'd meet people. It was great. Not until we did bowling. We did some bowling events, and that's where you came in.
Yeah.
I think you showed up at the first one. I think there was like 4 of us there.
Yeah, I don't know.
4 or 5 of us there.
Yeah. I don't know. I got drunk.
That's how we met. And then I think it was like the second or third time you're like, dude, I can totally host some, and we're like, absolutely, more superior. So,
you didn't know what you signed up for. Let me host, Amber.
No, I did not. So, although it wasn't that bad, there was a couple troublemakers that came to your event that I had to deal with. But.
and that comedy night that I may or may not have told at the story has been told on this show.
That was an epic failure of a night. That was so fun though.
For those that have listened to this podcast before, have heard me talk about this story where the one night I was stand up. Amber's the reason why, right there. Yep. She's the reason why.
We made an event. It was great.
Yeah, let's talk about that night. So do you actually remember? I don't remember anything. You know that, right? I don't remember anything. I blacked out.
No. Okay, so I was sitting at the bar, and you were, I don't know, you were slated to go, halfway through. I think there was probably a list of, 15 people, and you were, number 7 or 8. And some people got up there, and it was, nearing your time, and you're like, no, I'm just too nervous. Move me back. And the guy was like, all right, well, then you just kept drinking. And people just kept giving you drinks to drink. And I'm not going to throw any names under the bus. I won't throw anybody under the bus.
No, I got messed up really bad.
But there was, and then you did go up, but, the jokes you had, and you had good jokes, too. You wrote some really good ones. But you couldn't deliver. It was you were so drunk, you couldn't remember what you wrote down. You were skipping the punchline on a couple of them, but you tried, and that's what mattered. It was a lot of fun. Even though you probably were I could have done better. It was your
Yeah, I could have done a lot better. I could have done a lot better. But little did I know that I'd be trying to host a whole podcast by myself, but.
Well, and so doing that, you're a comedian as well. You're trying to,
You're giving me too much credit, Amber.
Well, I'm trying.
Well, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about one of your other passions, right? You're big into video games?
Absolutely.
So what's your favorite game to play?
Well, honestly, right now I'm playing Witcher 3.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fantastic game. I've played the first 2, and they're very small. They're on the smaller scale, and then Witcher 3 is open world, and it's just
right. So explain the concept of that game for those that don't know what that game is.
So you go around and you kill creatures for money, and
nice.
There's a story, and I won't spoil the story.
No, of course not. No spoiler. Hey, no spoilers on Sensibly Cynical. No spoilers.
No spoilers. So, of course you play the story, the campaign, but you have these humongous maps, and they have different locations, and different monsters, different side quests, and Witcher contracts, and
right.
all that. And Witcher is pretty much your mercenary for monsters, for mystical monsters. Mm-hmm. So, if you need a hitman for the griffin that lives, a few miles from your house, that's what you would hire the Witcher to go kill the griffin for you.
Nice. Were you big into?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what other games were you big into? Are you big into Call of Duty?
I do like Call of Duty. When it first started coming out, we would have LAN parties.
Yeah.
And I think Call of Duty 3 was the one that we mostly played LAN parties, and that was so much fun.
Yeah.
And then I when I was about 17, I was like, all right, I'm going to play all of the Call of Duties, and I'm going to beat the campaign on veteran mode, which is the hardest. So I got pretty far. I haven't really played the last 3 or 4 Call of Duties.
So
so fast, and I honestly, as I get older, I have less time to game. So,
right. Well, let me guess. You're not in the Call of Duty league, are you, Amber?
No. Nope.
So what's your take on the esport craze going on right now?
My gosh, I had no idea how big of an industry the esport industry is.
Yeah.
I realized this week that I got into the wrong field. Because I could be making hundreds of thousands of dollars If I just became a full-time gamer, if not millions. I'm not that good, but I could get there if I practiced every day.
Yeah,
Video games for 12 hours a day. But yeah, I had no idea. I had no idea how big of an industry. And people spend money.
Mm-hmm.
People gamble on
right.
On watching.
Well, now with no sports though, without sports though, now they're gambling on like Survivor and like reality TV. Reality TV now has spiked.
To gamble on.
Yeah. Yeah.
We still have sports to watch, so.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's crazy. I know it's projected this year to get over 1.1 billion, but last year it was 950. That's what it says. Like, you know what I mean? Crazy stats on this.
Oh my gosh. And, 500 million people are watching esports. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure more so now because people are at home not doing anything.
And the biggest event in the world is probably the Fortnite World Cup. Like and speaking of Fortnite, let me get on a tangent real quick, Amber.
Please.
So I know you're waiting for this. All right, so
I love it.
well, obviously everyone probably knows I'm a substitute teacher, and so I'm teaching these like first graders, Amber, and I'll never forget it. These first graders come in here. And they're talking about, they're doing like the floss, they're doing like the Fortnite dances. I'm like,
so they're playing Fortnite in class?
No, but they're talking about their stories and stuff, and how they beat the other person. This is first grade. You know what I mean? Like, what was the first game you remember, like as a kid, like when you were a kid? What was the first game that you remember playing?
So when I was really, really little, my dad had a Sega Genesis, and we played one of the games that I remember, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, I love that game.
So definitely remember playing that. And then he got rid of it when I was about, 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then we didn't have a gaming system until I was a teenager.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, I was probably about 15, 16.
Wow.
And we got an Xbox 360.
Oh, and that was like the biggest thing ever, right? When you got that.
Oh, right. And at first I didn't play. I just watched. I watched my dad play the first Assassin's Creed.
Right.
And that's something that we would do together. I would watch him while he played it.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, this game looks so much fun. I think I would love playing this.
Right.
So I started playing the first Assassin's Creed, and then branching out, I played a lot of slashers, hack and slash. I played Samurai Warriors and Dynasty Warrior Empire, and then I started playing the Call of Duties, and then it went from there.
Yeah. Did you ever get into like the Mario Kart world?
Not really.
Oh, I was all about it. Amber.
Honestly, when we were kids, other people had GameCube or whatever. We would play at other people's houses, but I never really, I didn't have a Nintendo system. And we never really, I played at friends' houses. In college, we played Mario Party all the time. That's about it.
Mario Party. Yeah, it beats, I used to have COD parties in high school. That was the thing. I thought I was like the hot shot on campus, Amber, when I got invited to a COD party. In reality, I was one of those kids that I wasn't shunned. I was shunned by the popular people, but I had the clique where it's like you're outside. You know what I'm saying? The people that hung out upstairs. We had a 2-story. You know what I mean? It was upstairs, and I was part of them talking about the COD party. And then so I thought I was so cool when I got invited to the COD party in the GRU.
Did you ever do Halo and stuff?
Yep,
too?
Halo parties. Yep.
Oh yeah. Dude,
yep. When I was 15, and that's the first time That's the first time I felt really cool.
Well, we would when I was a teenager, we would have LAN parties in my parents' basement.
Yep, we did all that.
Have 4 or 5 TVs, Xboxes, and about 16 people playing. And we played Halo, Call of Duty, Ghost Recon 2.
Yeah.
They were so fun. That was some of my funnest memories, honestly.
Yeah. So let's go back to the esports thing. What's the one thing that kind of impressed you? You said you were impressed by a lot of money that these are making. Is there anything else that impresses you? Like, the sponsors, right?
If I decided that I wanted to coach a team, I don't know, of League of Legends or, Overwatch or whatever other game playing, you could make average salary is like $75,000 a year.
That's crazy.
If not more.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, dude, what am I doing wrong with my life?
That shit crazy, bro. That shit crazy.
Oh my god. I mean, people make, 6 figure, six figures, sometimes 7.
Yeah, there's crazy like I think it's like, I forgot the name of it, but there's like conventions, for gaming that mixes gaming, and cosplay. I mean, there's crazy stuff.
Yeah, there's one on the East Coast called GalaxyCon, and they're in like Florida, up to New York. I mean, they're everywhere. And,
right. BlitzCon, I think, is the one I was thinking of. I was thinking of BlitzCon, but I don't know exactly where that is. But
yeah, they have, it's cosplay, and then of course it's like your regular convention, and then they've got, a whole big hall just for video games.
Yeah.
And then they have a big hall for board games too. And then of course there's seminars.
And what's crazy, what's cool about it though is, Amber, is a lot of these athletes are playing like NASCAR drivers. They're playing iRacing League, so it gives them something to do too. A lot of NASCAR drivers are playing simulations of themselves for money.
Oh, that's hilarious.
They call iRacing, like lowercase I racing. Denny Hamlin just won a race, so they're doing simulated races.
That's really hilarious.
It is. Well, I mean, it gives
you gotta be creative.
Yeah, and basketball, a lot of basketball stars are doing it, And of course, Richmond loses money too, because wasn't the Richmond race coming up soon, or did they already have that before it shut down? I know there's a Richmond NASCAR race, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When was that supposed? Did that happen already before the shutdown? I don't know, but I went to it. I went to it before.
I don't really pay attention to NASCAR, so I don't know when it is.
So what do you? Yeah. So what do you do with most of your time up there?
Well, if I'm not working.
Yeah.
And I'm not cleaning the house or whatever.
Hanging out with the hubby, right?
Hanging out with the hubby. I'm usually gaming, and I love video games, but my super passion is board gaming.
Board gaming. Oh, let's talk about this. This could get fun. Let's talk about this.
Yeah. So I actually board game probably more. I mean, right now I'm playing more video games, obviously, because there's not very many people to play board games with. But
really,
normally,
hey, Amber, shoot me a link and I'll play with you. Online.
I'll have to get you on that. But board gaming I do mostly. That's what I mostly do. And like Monday night, that's board game night. I go to we go to our friend's house and have dinner and then play board games. But since I'm happily married now, running a singles meetup group is no longer a thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
So now I run a board gaming meetup group.
Wow.
And there's about 3 or 4 of us that run it. And right now it's not super active because obviously we can't really meet up with people. But I'll run game night at local game stores and stuff. And one of the guys does some game nights out of their house. And
really, so it's like it's like the hip place to be, especially during this quarantine too.
Oh yeah. So anyway, between Monday nights and whatever meetup group we plan. Or a lot of our friends play board games too, and we'll have game nights and have people over for dinner and crack open 3 or 4 games before they go home.
It sounds like with me and beer, it's crack open 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Or shots, or shots every time there's a podcast miscue.
So anyway, I mean, I game a lot in the past, but played competitively.
Mm-hmm.
There's PressCon in Charlottesville, Virginia, twice a year.
Right.
Gone to that a couple times and been in a couple tournaments, and I haven't won anything, but I made it to the finals, but I haven't done it in a while, actually, since I've gotten married. I haven't really played competitively. How's the
nightlife in Richmond now with everything going on with COVID-19?
Well, everything's closed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't really go anywhere.
You can't really go anywhere. Here in Pensacola, I went downtown and some of the establishments are open. People just have no cares in the world. They gotta have food, obviously.
Right.
But no, like bars are having little vendor carts outside of their bar handing out drinks.
Oh wow.
That's what bars are doing instead. They're opening up little carts.
So you just stay outside?
Yeah, you just have a drink and walk down in that, you can walk in that area, vicinity, yeah. I think that's most places where you can have a drink and walk down the street. Like in that secluded area,
Right.
Before pandemic, has the nightlife changed since I left, or did because it seems to me the group died after I left. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No, I just got married.
Did it totally shut down?
Yeah, I shut it down.
You shut it down?
Honestly, another group kind of popped up that was very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't have the time anymore, and I started dating my husband, and it was kind of like, I just don't have time for this anymore, so I ended it. And
yeah, I only speak with you, and I speak with Paul and Peter. I have Paul coming on this, I just released it. I've had both of them on the show, Paul and Peter.
Yeah. You got to Tim at all? No?
I'll tell you about that off air.
Got it.
That didn't end very well. I've no ill will. He tried to get a hold of me before I left, and I just...
It was not a friendship you were going to keep.
Let's not disclose this on air.
Yeah, you could edit this out.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything against them. It's just, Or what's going on with the city, I guess. Is it a city shutdown still in Richmond? Like, shut down?
So the opening of Virginia is going to be a 3-step process.
Mm-hmm.
And the first step doesn't start till the 15th. So it's still a stay-at-home order. Everything is closed down.
Yeah.
And the 15th, stay-at-home is going to continue, but they're going to open up more businesses.
Right.
And, get people back to work. But businesses are going to have to, clean more and make sure that the offices are, their employees can be social distancing.
Social distancing, that's the ultimate word of 2020.
Yeah, for real. And I think at this point we're all really tired of hearing that word.
Yeah, and my favorite is quarantining and chill.
Yeah, quarantining and chill, yeah.
That's it.
Not even Netflix and chill anymore, it's just quarantining and chill.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Oh, gosh. But yeah, so it's and that's going to last for 3 weeks. And then, step 2, they're going to allow groups of 50 or more. They're going to allow places of worship a little bit more leeway.
Yeah, of course. Richmond's a big, city where people worship. It's a big religious town, too.
Yeah. We're in the Bible Belt.
Yeah.
So,
but,
it counts for something.
When you think of Richmond, you think a lot of people there's a lot of beer and stuff. People don't think about, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of hardworking religious people, and they're all good people. They're all good people.
And there's churches everywhere.
Right.
I think everywhere you go, there's a church of some type.
It's not just beer every day there, but
it is though. We have so many breweries, and Richmond is...
Oh, I know. Here's the thing. I credit myself with the rise of it all. Because right when I got there in 2000, when did I get there? 2013, I think, is when I got there. And that's when things started blooming.
Because you had, it wasn't just Legend. Legend has been here for forever.
Right.
So you had, Hardywood had just opened.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Isley opened.
Right.
South Edition wasn't a thing yet.
What else you want to talk about, Amber, before I let you get back to your video games? Esports. Is there anything else interesting?
Okay, so I found some statistics about the amount of people that are watching, the audience growth.
Right.
In 2016, there was less than 300 million people watching. In 2018, it had grown to almost 500.
Yeah, you're not specific to us, like a specific game. You're talking about overall, right?
Overall. I mean, this is including all the sport ones.
Right.
Overwatch, League of Legends.
Yeah, LOL, all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And honestly, there probably will be 5 more games this year, that people will start playing competitively.
Or WoW, World of Warcraft.
Right. I mean, so by 2021, they're saying it's going to be like over 500,000 people that watch. Started out by just...
Mm-hmm.
Not 500,000, 500 million.
Yeah, and ESPN now, ESPN's playing esports on their main broadcast channel, which pre-quarantine, it would barely get on like the, ESPN like news or whatever,
Did we ever foresee a world that we would be watching video game players online? Like, let me turn the TV on. I want to watch, people play League of Legends. There's nothing wrong with that, obviously, but it's just like, I don't think we would live in the day and age if that's a thing.
No, not at all. So you still talk? Do you still talk to Dawn?
Yeah, I mean, she was at my wedding.
Oh yeah. I do feel you did get my gift, right? I sent you a gift.
I don't remember.
It wasn't. I put it on your registry.
Oh, got it. Then I'm sure I did.
See, you don't even know I gave you something. How rude, Amber. I'm just busting your chops.
I know. Honestly, I don't remember.
I adore you, Amber, and it gutted me. I couldn't go up there. I really wanted to, but I just couldn't.
It's fine. Stuff happens.
No, I know, but you know how much you mean to me, like, and I wanted to go so bad, but I just couldn't.
Well, when you get married,
when I get married, yeah, we'll be doing wishful thinking on that. We'll all be.
I will be at your wedding.
Most definitely, and you'll be buying the girl who marries me plenty of drinks. Hey, 33, single, and staying strong. Amber got this podcast going. Shit's getting real.
Yeah.
Shit's getting real.
You're making good moves in life.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm happy.
That's good.
Yeah. But I really do appreciate you doing this. I know this is your podcasting debut.
I know. Well, you better invite me again.
Of course, this was a lot of fun. I've been wanting to have you on for a while. And what's cool about having your own podcast is you can have like your best friends on just because.
Right.
Like I'm supposed to have another one of my best college friends. He was supposed to come on. The guy who did the intro, the new intro theme.
Oh yeah, which I love, by the way.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Well, it just makes it so that this is your own,
Yeah. I wanted something,
It doesn't mean you have to keep it for forever, but at least for now, it's like your own little stamp.
Well, yeah.
Sensibly Cynical stamp on it,
Yeah, and the name I had to, and I'm thinking about doing this by the end of the year. Probably by the end of the year. I'm thinking about copyrighting Sensibly Cynical. It's not copyrighted.
Yeah.
There's words around it that are copyrighted. I think Sensibly Speaking is copyrighted. Sensibly Cynical isn't copyrighted. I'm thinking about doing it.
You should.
With Frank's blessing, of course, because he's the one that thought of the name.
Well, I wish I found out in the origin episode, which was great.
The backstory, yeah.
Yeah, it was great. I didn't know you guys started in the car. I thought that was
No, we started in the car. Yeah, we were just sitting. We didn't have anything. Podbean has a mobile app that you can just press record.
Well, that's how I listen to it. It's through Podbean.
Oh, really? What other podcasts are you into?
Started a podcast called Living with the Moons.
Mm-hmm.
And they haven't really posted anything since September, but
right.
They interview people about like their life and kind of like their passionate about. And it's just like hearing people's life stories and when they talk about a topic.
Mm.
Anyways, that one's really good. That's there. And then the Women of Marvel. I don't listen to that all the time, but every once in a while I'll pop an episode on.
How's your sister doing?
Which one?
Oh, yeah. Well, both of them.
Well, my sister Mary's pregnant and due in August.
You tell them I said hi, okay?
Oh, will do. And then Madeline's doing great. She's an assistant manager over at Lunch Supper in competition.
Yeah, she'd be a good guest to have.
Oh my gosh, she would love it.
I don't know if she would do it.
We can always ask her. I'll ask her for you.
Yeah, well, just talk about like how the art of like bartending and being, you know, in the restaurant business. What's it like being? You know what I'm saying? She'd have a good perspective on that.
Oh yeah, and she loves bartending is like her thing. She loves it.
Yeah, so throw that idea at her and see what she says. Let's see. You said
my brother Trevor is getting married in June.
That's exciting.
And then my other brother is single way up.
That's right. You have a lot of siblings. I forgot about that.
I know. One oldest is 5, so.
Have you passed on my podcast to anybody else? You've kind of kept it to yourself.
No, I tell people that.
You trying to help me out a little bit?
When people ask me like, what podcast do you listen to? And I'm like, well, you're usually the first one that I talk about.
You're gonna make me get emotional on here.
But honestly, like, I didn't really listen to podcasts until you texted me and you're like, hey, I started a podcast and this is what it's called. You should listen to it. And then that's honestly when I started listening to podcasts. And then I kind of found a couple that I liked. And then sometimes I listened to a couple episodes and I was like, all right, I'm done with this one. Or this is boring or whatever. And then, but you were the first one that I religiously started listening to.
And so people tell you, oh, he sucks, right? Hope I haven't let you down.
I just say like he's my buddy and like you talk about all kinds of stuff. I was like, honestly, like you talked about so much. Yeah. And like your topics are so wide varying, which is what I think is great. And it's cool that you have some of the guests you've had in the last year have been really awesome.
I think the underrated one that I knew would do nothing, but I think is underrated is the lacrosse podcast. I think that's really underrated. But if you actually take a listen at it, it was really good.
People don't even like lacrosse. What? Like, unless you play in high school, like no one watches or plays lacrosse. Like it's not a common sport. So,
but see, that's the thing about having your own podcast. Like, if I want to talk to a lacrosse guy, I can do it. It's my fucking show.
Right, you can do what you want with it.
Excuse the language, but it's my show. You know, if I want to interview, the Saw one by myself is one of my favorites I've ever done. Period.
Well,
I love it.
I wanted to be able to listen to it beginning to end. So, and I know it's an hour, so I will listen to it this week.
Yeah, he's really and.
You do.
All right, Amber. So now we do this thing on our show called Sensible or Cynical. You have a sensible or cynical thought. You have one for the show?
I totally do.
Okay, shoot.
So it's going to be a sensible thought because I'm a healthcare worker. So everyone, please pay attention to what your state is doing and stay at home, wash your hands, and stay healthy.
I can't think of a better way to end the show. And my sensible thought is, I agree with exactly what she said. Do what she says. Follow your city coordinates. Follow your state leaders, and do what is told.
Find a video game that you can learn how to play while you're stuck at home.
All right, Amber, I'm guessing you're a hermit when it comes to social media, right? Or do you got anything you want to plug?
I mean, I have an Instagram, I have Facebook. I'm not super special or anything.
Well,
actually, no, wait.
Put your Instagram on there.
If you like animals, my husband and I have our own business, and we breed and sell animals and isopods and different, like Madagascar hissing cockroaches. So So if you like animals, you can go to Don's Pet Cove. We're on Facebook and Instagram. This is Don's Pet Cove. And my husband posts really cute hedgehog videos and guinea pig pictures. And if you love animals, then, yeah, check us out. Give us a like, subscribe. And we do sales and stuff all the time. We did a Tiger King sale a couple weekends ago.
Really?
Yeah, we called it the Carol Baskin sale. And
oh my God!
With stripes were 50% off. So
yeah.
But yeah, so check us out. We have lots of cute critters, and love to show them off. So
yeah. Well, Amber, I appreciate your time this evening. It's great catching up as always.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
And don't be a stranger, okay?
Yeah, and everybody, you guys need to go to his Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
And totally support Sensibly Cynical.
All right, thanks, Amber. I appreciate the.
No problem.
And plus, I didn't pay you for that plug, right?
No, you totally did not. That was a completely free plug.
All right, well, I appreciate that. And yes, she's right. Everyone do that. All right, Amber, take care, okay?
You too. Talk
All
to you
right,
later.
bye.
Bye.
That was awesome having Amber on. I really enjoyed that conversation. And like she said, you can check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/Sensibly Cynical. We have 2 tiers, sensible and cynical. I have a stack of podcast stickers that are ready to be shipped out. I have a special running until May 19th. If you become a Patreon at sensible or cynical level, you will get one shipped next day. That's right, next day. So please support the podcast. The money will go right back into equipment. And that's it. Check us out on Twitter at Cynical Sensibly, Instagram Sensibly Cynical Pod, and you can check out our Facebook group. Hope everyone is staying safe during the quarantine. And that's another one in the books. Take care.
Hey guys, this is Cree, also known as Lilith Rose, host of Conversations from the Garden of Creedon. The Garden is a safe space for creatives to bloom, express, and share their creations. Listen into our conversations as we discuss how they got started with following their dreams and give tips on being happy, successful, and living their lives with passion. Check out Conversations from the Garden of Creedon on Anchor and other major listening platforms. I truly appreciate the support, and thank you for tuning in.